For me, you can race in these cars, you can rally in these cars. I've been all over the world. You can get to the pub in these cars. When I get to the supermarket, it takes me about 2 hours because everybody wants to talk about it. I mean, they're just absolutely beautiful to look at. And at the end of the day, I've had some great experiences. I'm Jonathan. People call me an entrepreneur. I have a host of different business interests. I live in Yorkshire, the capital of the world. Very proud to be a Yorkshireman and very proud to be an Englishman. I think I was born in the wrong era. I'd love to have been born in the 1920s. The Bentley boys epitomise adventure, fun, and part of that whole racing thing, particularly in France at Le Mans. You know, as the brand and the automobile developed during the late 1920s, they won Le Mans, you know, pretty much every year for 4 or 5 years in a row.
This car is a 3-litre Bentley speed model. It was owned by the factory and it was the first car that Bentley Motors took to Le Mans in 1925. Sadly for the factory, a little miscalculation, so they got the MPG totally wrong and the car ran out of petrol. It did not finish the race. Having said that, I have taken this car back to Le Mans, did a 24-hour race, and people say, wow, it's one of the most famous Bentleys in the world. Why would you race that for 24 hours non-stop? And the answer to that is because that's exactly what they used to do in 1926, 27, 28 and 29.
Everybody has a busy life and it's finding the time. You know, at the end of the day, being an entrepreneur, I run businesses. I can't take a lot of time out. I've got employees, I've got a lot going on, a lot to think about. But when you're on an adventure in any country around the world, and I have driven Iran, Pakistan, New Zealand, Iceland, you know, you're having the most awesome time. You're engaging with the locals, you're engaging with the atmosphere around you and what's going on. You have no time, quite frankly, to think about anything else other than the fun that you're having in the Bentley. Well, I'll try not to cry, but one of the most memorable experiences of my life in the Bentley was camping at Everest. We drove through Tibet. You're driving and the car's shaking and and it's all going on. And then all of a sudden, and I promise you, you sort of come around a corner and there it is. And you see Everest. And I sat on the side of the Bentley with our tents and just burst into tears. I've had some great experiences.
This is my favourite car, 1928 4.5-litre Bentley. The reason it's my favourite car is because it's been to dozens of countries around the world. This car has been everywhere in terms of I have raced it, I have rallied it, it's been in deserts, it's been to Everest, it's been in Iceland, it's been stuck in snowdrifts and had to be pulled out by a French snowplow. So I absolutely adore this car. It's bomb-proof, it will go anywhere. And it always starts on the button.
I think Bentley have got a great opportunity to look to the future because they have such a great past, they have such a great history. There are many brands appearing from nothing, and does one feel that we are driving a computer? Are we driving a laptop? With a brand like Bentley, you know you're driving a car, you know you're driving something with a 100+ years history, and there's no reason why the next 100 years, whether that's electricity, then it's going to be very challenging. But the great thing that this brand and this business has is 100 years of heritage. That's a great place to start. You know, if every Bentley showroom could have a vintage Bentley and you put the customer in that first and took them for a drive, then quite frankly, I think they'd buy a new Bentley without even driving the new Bentley because the whole look and feel and the experience and the noise and the drama is so intense. And you know that you're going to get that with your new car. I think it's a tragedy and a shame to buy a Bentley and not know so much about the wonderful history.
This is one of the very first cars that W.O. Bentley ever built. This is 1922. It was originally a 3-litre Bentley. It's now got a 4.5-litre engine in it. It's now called a 3.4.5. This is the car we took out this morning, which is why it's now suitably covered in mud. I love getting out in these vehicles. I love my rallying, I love my racing. Margaret Allen famously did a lot of rallying in this car, but also an awful lot of racing. I've been very lucky to race this car at Goodwood at the Revival, and I also raced it at Silverstone. It's nice that almost 100 years later, since this car was built in 1922, it is still being raced very safely.
You know, when you want to go on an adventure, when you want to have some fun, you might just want to go to the pub with your wife. It doesn't matter. You know, you can do so much in these cars, young or old, and particularly in the new ones, which are incredibly impressive. And if you want to drive leisurely and slowly, you can. If you want to drive a little bit quicker, trust me, you can. And when you do get the history and the heritage part of it as a package, quite frankly, there's nothing missing.